Mm-hmm. Shout out to Empress of the Galaxies on Instagram. You already know. Just watching her little live stream right there. But she's saying some real shit. Some shit I resonate with. So, about to get into the nature of this video right here. Finna gonna break down the alignments for today, y'all, because this is kind of deep. In the house systems, we got. And first of all, Archangel Raphael in the building. What's good, y'all? I hope y'all been well, taking care of yourself. Well-being, healing is always on the top priority of the schedule and routines in the 6th house of where we live at in this dimension. You already know. So, I'm about to hop out here at this crib real quick. Take my little brother into the stove. He needs to get a little jack. Motherfucker popped his tire, getting too excited. He just got a new car and shit like that. So he lost a little pole for the jack thing to jack up the car. So now to take him to do some little extracurricular shit. Take him to the store. Yo. I'm live right now. I'm live right now. I'm doing a little video. Give me like 10 minutes. All right. Alright. Love you. So, yeah, so today, basically what we got going on, running through the houses 1 through 12. Let's just do a little summary real quick. First house in Sagittarius. Okay, so personally involved with the fire, like being able to watch ourselves, kind of, you know what I'm saying, we're able to reflect, able to be kind of aware of what's going on. There's a fire in the distance. That's the kind of first house personally involved that's happening. Second house on Capricorn. That's where Pluto is at. Transformation, and basically empowerment. So, you know what I'm saying? How to Empress of the Galaxies, empowerment, you know what I'm saying? Empress, empowerment, goddess of empowerment. So, I fuck with you and your whole way she move about that. That's what that means. And we got Saturn in Aquarius on the cusp of the 2nd and 3rd house. But just to elaborate there, the 2nd house of finances, 2nd house of dealing with your material belongings and things like that in Capricorn and Pluto. Basically, in the 2nd house right now, you're being called to. 2nd house is calling us to look at our stability and how we build in life right now, and it wants us to transform, and it wants us to look at it from another perspective. It wants us to be empowered when we think about building our finances. And since we got Saturn on the cusp right there in Aquarius, you know what I'm saying? That's like Saturn backing up Pluto, trying to transform and see it another way. Our finances and money and our belongings and all that shit. We want to look at this shit from a higher perspective, y'all. Saturn's there to really support and call on Pluto to let Pluto know, like, we're really gonna let you discipline yourself and transform this shit once and for all. So that's that. And it's on the cusp of the 3rd house, so it's involving your environment. You can't help but to see it in your environment. Okay? You can't help but to be disciplined and to structure and to actually grow in this area and develop and achieve where you're trying to go in your environment based upon your finance in the 2nd house and all of that. Alright? So we got Jupiter in the 3rd house. You're expanding your environment. You want to expand your environment. It's on the cusp. It's in Pisces, but it's on the cusp of Aquarius and Pisces. So, spiritually, in your environment, you are very sensitive. We're all being called to be sensitive and tuned in a 3rd house, and really think about it another way. We got Aquarius on the cusp. We got Aquarius and Saturn. We're really being called to see things in our environment a whole other way, to see it in a broader perspective, a bigger light. Okay? And we're gonna get into all the conjunctions here. So I'm gonna wrap it. I'm not trying to keep this video long at all. I'm trying to run through this. So and we got IC. The IC is like the opposite of the MC, the north node. It's like the south. You can see IC like uh, instead of the outer expression of the north node of expanding into what you're here to do in this lifetime. IC is like your inner world. You know what I'm saying? So that's in Pisces as well. Your inner world being filled in Pisces in the third house. You're feeling all of this. You're intuitively like in your third house. I'm telling y'all, your environment, how you learn right now. And third house is because 369, right? So 3 being the first one to meet where 9 is at, 9 of higher education. 3 is basically like the education you do as a being yourself. So for example, I might be like just feeling like I want to learn about this and like I'm interested, I'm curious about this. So I'm like learning and shit, right? I'm learning kind of like you could say like random shit, but it all has to do with what I love, right? But the things I'm learning in the third house has to do with like kind of personal shit. Whereas the ninth house, we're about to get to that, because that's the meat and the bones here. It's the ninth house. I'm about to get there, but the ninth house is the higher education, wisdom, experiences, learning. So we're gonna get there, but we got the IC, the inner world, right there in Pisces, with Neptune and your fortune conjunct in the fourth house of family. So you going, and this is another big one. This is right here. The other meat and the bones is the fourth house. Fourth house is lit up right now with Neptune in the fortune. So the dreams and imagination of how you imagine and how you dream about where it is that you want to be in a spiritual inner world sense. It's involving and Neptune's right there with the IC damn near on the cusp of the third house. It's involving your environment, right? Has a huge involvement to do with your environment, but it's in your fourth house of family, home life, structure. So and I even saw this in the morning and I took advantage of it. I said, hold on, let me give my family some attention and love, you know what I'm saying? So it's just been like me being aware of this. I just been not getting bounded and thrown away and wishy-washed by the energies and the currents in the sky today. I dove in deep to whatever is playing out in my favor. And this is trining the moon in the 12th house of Scorpio. So how we, the moon sign, us, is being influenced in Scorpio of the waters, of looking deep into things and being able to see things that other people can't really see. Scorpios are really good at that. So Scorpios feel this shit deeply too. But with Pisces and Neptune, Pisces is that. Scorpios see it, right? Scorpios see it and they feel it, but Pisces are submerged in the world of it. So they're spiritually there, you know what I mean? So you could look at it like the fortune in the dreams and imagination. The fortune is basically just your fortune. That's the fortune, how you're gifted, how we're receiving the gifts. We're receiving it in the fourth house right now in Pisces, in the dreams and imagination, illusion, realms of, you know what I'm saying? All possibility, things like that in the home and family life. So don't miss out on that right there. So that's a strong point. Now moving on. We got Chiron and Aries in the fourth house, wounded healer. You know what I'm saying? So we're being called to like heal this shit with our home life and family. We're being called, y'all. We're being called to be that. Like it hurts and shit like that because our families and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like our families is close to us, and the families that we chose to incarnate in, that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's what, in a sense, it's like they followed us as spirits. Wherever we went, they came as spirits, and we are together as spirits. Now our families, especially of us awakened ones, our families is, you know what I'm saying, on some bullshit half the time. They ain't working on themselves spiritually like we are, so it's like, in a sense, like we're here to lead and kind of fulfill the obligations and duties as a stronger spirit to help them out, you know what I mean, in all ways that we can, without sacrificing ourselves, without giving away ourselves without, you know what I'm saying, taking our focus on ourselves, because we can't help anybody if we can't help ourselves first. Remember that shit. So none of this, any of what I'm saying, has to do with you sacrificing yourself or you leaving what it is that you're supposed to focus on yourself first. And we've been through, we talked about the first house being in Sagittarius, so, you know what I'm saying, personally involved right now, yeah, you gonna be able to be aware of yourself in a distant way, so you can do all these other things and help out and be involved in the family home life and deal with your environment and transforming your second house with Pluto there. Alright, so moving on, keeping it rolling, right? Again, wounded healer, Aries, is top of the head, fire, like taking charge, taking action. So once we're secure within ourselves, we're able to do that, we're called to do that and really deal with it head on, right? So 5th house being on the cusp of Aries and Taurus, how we play, how we build, how we express ourselves, in the Aries-like way, as well as Taurus. It's like, you know, grounded stability, pleasure, also related a little bit to, you could say, home. Taurus deals with, should be turning up. Okay, yeah. So Taurus has to deal with, and we got Uranus right here, okay, on the cusp of the 5th and the 6th house. 6th house being you working and you building your work. So right now, the way you play and the way you work and your routines and your stabilities and the way you do everything every day in Taurus, you find pleasure. We're finding pleasure in this right now. We're finding pleasure. We're finding security. We're finding stability in this. So we're really being called to, you know what I'm saying, deal with all, like, I'm doing this in order, y'all. 1st house to 12. I'm doing this in order so y'all can really know how I'm traveling and moving as a spirit, so I can understand that everything is put together in the right way. We're doing the full 360 awareness of how shit is playing out in the astrological events. So the 5th and the 6th house of the way we express and play, and then how we work on that, how we build a routine around that, how we establish ourselves daily around that. We're able to find pleasure, stability, groundedness, and how we Uranus, rebel, oppose, invent, create from that state of being, and I'm saying be different and unique with that. So really, the 5th and the 6th house, how we play and work and create a routine in our lives, learn to ease up and learn to play with the energies and be, you know what I'm saying, enjoy yourself. Like, y'all, I be hanging out working on myself. You know what I mean? Take 5s, y'all. These are the Reese's ones, but I used to eat Take 5s all the motherfucking time when I was a kid. I love Take 5s. They got the pretzels in there. They got the peanuts and the, you know what I'm saying, caramel, the chocolate. Hey, it's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? So when I work, you know what I'm saying, let me take a sip too. Let me take a little sip too. Got a little drink here. That's an alcohol, coconut water, and some fruit punch soda mixed together, and it's a vibe. I made a whole little slushy, gave it to my whole family, you know what I'm saying, earlier this morning. We was kicking it. We was kicking it. Yeah, it's a vibe. And that's Taurus. That's enjoying ourselves and how we create and express ourselves, you know what I'm saying? So every day we have an opportunity to see things the way we want to see it. Every day we have an opportunity to be let the dead play, okay? I just made a new word. Ball, play, and make it our way. Blay. Blaze it up. I used to work at Blaze, this little spot called Blaze Pizza. You know what I'm saying? We'd be blazing it up. Figuratively and literally. So, yeah. So, I actually wasn't even smoking at that time a lot. I'm actually on a break right now, too. I'm really doing this shit with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Working on my finances in the 12th house of Capricorn, the 2nd house, you know what I'm saying? I said 12th house, 2nd house, Capricorn, Pluto transforming that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really setting up the jobs and shit like that. I'm trying to get a little money. I'm trying to get an ounce real quick, you know what I'm saying? Pull up like, okay, so it's been a minute since I smoked, so, yeah, we'll be blazing on camera while we do these videos, astrology videos. You already know. Alright, so we got Lilith. Moving on, we got the Lilith in the 6th house, right there, Lilith being like the Lilith represents how the dark side of the moon. You could say like that's what I heard them call it. The Lilith is like the shadow aspect of yourself, and the Lilith is like how you see things and like how you wanna kind of go against the church. You know what I'm saying? Play out the demon. Because as soon as you go against the church and how the church order was established, you're immediately looked at and labeled as a demon. You're following. You're going against pursuit. So that's like Lilith. That's just an example, right? But that's the kind of energy of Lilith and how it plays out. And it's on the cusp of Gemini and Taurus right now. So expressive thinking, communication, Gemini. You know what I mean? It could be so, but it's on the cusp of Taurus. So it's like we're able to be grounded and secure in our thinking and communication, how we express ourselves with that in the 6th house where Lilith is at. You working there. This is how it's taking a shape and form in your work and routine and habit. Okay. All right. So we got North Node keeping it moving. We got North Node on the descendant opposing the ascendant, or not opposing, but opposite from the ascendant, which the ascendant has the South Node. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. The South Node is in the 1st house of Sagittarius. So South Node energy is playing out like what we kind of already are accustomed to and related to. That's why I say, like, you know what I'm saying, be secure in yourself before you do anything. You can't help anybody if you can't help yourself. So that's how it's working right now. The South Node, get your shit right before you can step into the 2nd house, the 3rd house, and move. We're doing this in order, y'all. I'm letting y'all know how I spiritually travel so I can build with this shit. So y'all can kind of do the same in your own way. You know what I'm saying? We're all playing this out on micro levels in our own lives. This shit is deep. It's crazy. So the North Node in Gemini, and I was doing a little bit of reading some articles and shit like that. They were saying like the degree of the right here, right? So the degree of the North Node right now being played out in the 8th degree. They say the 9th degree is basically like in Gemini is like evil or something like that. Which I don't know what it is about it, but it's something about that energy of just like I related with it. I was like, oh yeah, there's something about like. There's something about, because North Node is just like an aspect of the sky, and the South Node is an aspect of the sky where the moon transits in, so it's not an actual planet or anything like that, right? So the North Node and the South Node being like transiting, and Gemini being like, Gemini's been there for a minute, so it's retrograde or something. I'm not sure if that's the proper term, but it's Gemini's been in North Node for a minute, it's been in Sagittarius for a minute, and it's been staying there for a little while until it transits and moves on to whatever else it needs to go to. But, and it's opposite because really Sagittarius being the North Node, Gemini being the South Node, it's its proper way to play out, but it's opposite. So it's been like that, you know what I mean? So it's almost like something against our life purpose and our life direction in the South Node, where we come from in past lives. It's almost like counterintuitive. It's like working against us, and it's been like that. So us knowing ourselves, us doing our proper work, regardless, none of this shit matters. We do what we do. We run up our 1 and 2, and we get to where we need to go, regardless. So none of this shit matter. This shit don't affect us for the strong spirits, for the awakened ones. You know what I'm saying? For all the archangels out there. You know what I'm saying? Raphael in the building. You already know. We already above this shit. We above the tides. We're not above the shit, but we're above the tides when we work with ourselves properly and we work with the elements properly to begin with. So moving on.